everyone. Welcome to my first YouTube video. Welcome to my channel. My name is Mira. Most of you probably don't even know what my real name is, otherwise known as Be Well and Glow. So this is my first YouTube video. I'm really excited. I'm going to talk about my journey of how I got my skin to where it is today. For those of you who haven't been following my journey, I post about this on my Instagram story, but I thought creating a video might just be an easier way to tell my story. So it's pretty crazy. Today is September 30th, and almost exactly a year ago to the day is when I started my journey of trying to heal my skin. So I'll take you back to a year ago. I moved in to a new place. I moved in with my boyfriend. I think, you know, just the stress of moving. I was busy with work. Maybe my diet wasn't great. I think it was just a bunch of different factors. I wasn't sleeping well. So out of nowhere, my skin broke out in horrible cystic acne, and it was all around my mouth. So the reason why I call it hormonal acne is because it is around my mouth. It was around my mouth, and that's a clear indicator that the acne is caused because of your hormones or a hormonal imbalance. And I'm gonna put up photos before and after for those of you who haven't seen it. I post about it also on my Instagram. So it's pretty crazy. If you asked me a year ago if I think I'd be sitting here today talking to you about how my skin has changed and how much it's healed, I wouldn't believe you. For those of you who are going through acne or you've gone through it before, I think you all can attest to how it does affect your mood and your confidence and your self-esteem. And I wouldn't have believed you if you said I'd be sitting here on YouTube making a video about it. So like I said, a year ago, my skin broke out. And it wasn't just little pimples. Like, I've had acne like as a teenager and as I was growing up, but this was something I've never had before. It was deep under the skin cysts that, you know, you couldn't pop. There's no topical serum or spot treatment that would work because they're so deep. Nothing would help. So I'll take you through the journey of what I did in terms of healing my skin. So I think most of you know, if you're going through acne, you will literally buy any product that you think will work. And that was me. I was buying this, I was buying that, I was doing this treatment, I was going to get all of these different treatments at medi spas. But at the end of the day, I wasn't curing what the root cause of my acne was. So after spending a lot of money going to do chemical peels and blue light therapy, which all are really great, and I'll talk about those another time, I said, okay, you know, I need to get to the root cause. So this was after many doctors said you need to go on Accutane or maybe go back on the pill, which is something that I'd gone off of probably 8 months before all of this happened. And my acne was so localized just around my mouth. I didn't want to go on Accutane. I've heard horror stories. It's so bad for your body, really bad side effects. And, you know, that's also just a Band-Aid fix. You know, I'm not actually fixing what is causing my acne. So I decided to find a naturopathic doctor. I've always been one to go see a naturopath or try and find a holistic fix for a lot of health issues. I totally believe there's a time and place for a medical doctor, but I think that a lot of the times they just want to give you a pill to mask the symptoms. So I live in Toronto. For those of you who don't know, I found an amazing naturopathic doctor. Her name is Dr. Ashley Von Martels. Her office is called Summerhill Naturopathic, located at Avenue in Summerhill. So one thing that I was really adamant about is finding a naturopath that actually specialized in acne and women's health and hormones. There's so many naturopaths out there. You can sit on Google. It is a little overwhelming. But for those of you who are going to try and look for a naturopathic doctor, I would just recommend take the time to look for one that actually does specialize in women's health. You know, naturopathic doctors aren't cheap, so you want to make sure that if you're going to one, they actually know and specialize in what you're trying to fix. So I went to the naturopathic doctor, Dr. Ashley, and she has actually gone through acne herself. So that made it so much better for me. I knew that she understood what I was going through, especially the emotional side of it all. You know, you don't want to just go to someone who hasn't gone through it themselves and, you know, they're just, you know, telling you what to do. She really sympathized with me, and she totally understood where I was coming from. So that was the first thing. I went to see the naturopath, and what Dr. Ashley told me is that adult acne is really the cause of one of three things. One, a food intolerance, or two, hormonal imbalance. So for many years, I have been struggling with gut problems. I've always had stomach problems, and I've always kind of wanted to do food allergy testing. So I said, okay, let's just do the food testing. It's something that I've wanted to do for a long time. And then from there, we can see if that is causing my acne. So long story short, I get the test results back. I literally had nothing come up on my food allergy testing. Everything was really low. So from there, we both agreed that this is a result of a hormonal imbalance. And it totally makes sense. Like I said, I went off the pill in January, and my acne started flaring up in October. So that was 8 months off the pill, and that was enough time for my body's hormones to, you know, the pill to come out of my system, and as a result, you know, my hormones were just super messed up. So first thing that Dr. Ashley gave me is this supplement here. It's called inositol. So I just want to do a disclaimer. I am not recommending you guys get all this. I'm just saying what worked for me. And of course, it's so important to work with a actual naturopathic doctor or professional, just because everybody's bodies are different. My hormonal imbalance might be different than yours. So just telling you this is what worked for me. So first I started off with inositol. It's literally just a powder. Doesn't really have much of a taste. So what inositol does, and I'm not very scientific, but inositol is actually something that a lot of women use for PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome. I don't have PCOS. I have regular periods. I don't have really horrible cramping. I don't have weight gain. I didn't really have any of the symptoms of PCOS except for the acne portion, but my naturopath did know that this is known to help women who have hormonal acne without the PCOS symptoms. So the way that inositol works is it actually works on regulating your blood sugar, which is something that then translate into regulating your hormones. So I started taking this in middle of October, I would say, or middle to end of October. And within a month, I would say my skin was so much better. I wasn't having active breakouts. The actual, you know, deep cysts, they were starting to go away, and I wasn't getting new ones. And so this is what I would take, put it in water, put it in a smoothie. I take it every day, and really right away, I did notice a difference. So that was in November. Things got better. I was happy. Then, you know, a couple months go by, and out of nowhere, I flare up again. And I think I was taking a supplement that I shouldn't have been taking, and that just ruined my hormones again. So I was back to square one, and it was actually worse than when I started in October. My skin was so bad, and it was so raw, so swollen, so red, and like every single day I was getting new breakouts. And I'm lucky that with my job, I'm able to work from home a lot of the time because I would never want to go out of my home. I didn't want to see friends. I didn't want to put on makeup just because I wanted my skin to breathe. It was seriously affecting my mental health so badly. And you know, my boyfriend would always try and make me feel better, say, oh, I don't even notice your skin. And maybe that's true. Maybe other people don't notice your skin, but of course I notice it. And I just didn't feel confident. So back to Dr. Ashley I went, and she agreed that what I did actually, back to the inositol, I doubled my dose of inositol, which really did help. But then I also added in this supplement. It's called Chastree, otherwise known as Vitex. So the way that Vitex works is it actually works on increasing your progesterone. So whereas inositol really works on more of your blood sugar, which does contribute to acne, this is directly related to more of the hormones. So like I said, don't quote me on all of this. I don't really have that much of a science background. I don't totally understand it. But what Vitex really does is that it does bring your hormones more to an equilibrium. So for me, I think I had more of a low progesterone. So my symptoms were more, you know, fatigue, obviously acne, things like that. Whereas other people who might have a hormonal imbalance, high testosterone, so more of really horrible periods, more really bad cramping, hair, things like that. So what this did was it really leveled things out, and I'd say a week into taking the Vitex as well as the double dose of inositol, it did the trick for me. So that was in February, I'd say. That's when I had my second flare-up, and that's when I started introducing the Vitex. From there, things, you know, gradually got better. I'd still, you know, it still takes time for your hormones to fully even out. But things were, I guess, getting a little better. Then I discovered probably the best tool I have ever used. I post about this all the time. A lot of you have actually gone and bought in it, and it is my high frequency wand. So I actually learned about this wand when I was getting a facial a few years ago. The facialist was using it. I was so intrigued. I'm like, oh my God, what is this? Where do you get it? She told me you can buy it on Amazon. So I decided, okay, I'm gonna buy it. It's $40. It wasn't a huge investment. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it's not a huge loss. So I started using this, and it was seriously life-changing. So my hormones were rebalancing. I wasn't getting active new breakouts as much, but I still was dealing with how to actually get rid of those cysts that I already had and how to get rid of them. So this is literally your best friend. So the way that it works, you'll see, it doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt at all. Some people are scared by the zapping sound. So it's high frequency. So the way that this works is the high frequency basically goes and it kills all of the acne bacteria that's in your skin. And then it also kind of just dries out the pimples. So I started using this, and it has been life-changing. I recommend it for everyone. It also is really good at increasing circulation, promoting new collagen, which is really great for plumping your skin, you know, preventing wrinkles, things like that. But honestly, for breakouts, this is the best thing. A lot of people ask me, oh, what's your favorite topical or what's your favorite spot treatment? And I was thinking about it, and I said, I actually don't have one. I have not found anything like a spot treatment that has actually worked in terms of clearing up my acne so well. This is really your best friend. It's $40. A lot of, you know, spot treatments could be double that price or more. This is $40, and It will actually clear skin. You know, I've tested it on myself. I had cyst. I used it at night. I documented it the next morning. It was half the size. And many of my friends on Instagram have sent me photos of before and after of just a matter of hours or a couple days. And it really is amazing how well this works. Actually, a lot of people do use it for their hair growth also. It comes with a number of different glass heads that you put in, different sizes for different parts of your face. I just love this one because it just gets your whole face. But they have one that has a comb too, so people start brushing their hair, really stimulates the hair growth, so that's really cool. So when I was dealing with my, the peak of my breakouts and trying to get rid of them, I was doing this twice a day. So I was doing it probably 5 minutes in the morning, 5 minutes at nighttime. But you could just judge, see how your skin feels. And then from there now, with my skin, how it is today, depending on, you know, if it's around my period, if I'm breaking out, but typically on average, I'll just do it once a day for, you know, a few minutes. And that's also just in terms of prevention. So it's a really good way of preventing that bacteria from spreading and growing on your face. Actually, just before my period last week, I felt a little cyst under my skin. It was small enough, but it was definitely still big enough that I felt it and noticed it. So instantly I started zapping it, and luckily it went away and it didn't grow. So if you learn one thing from today, get this, it's your best friend. So those two things are really what have helped my skin to go from where it was, which was horrible, red, painful acne, as I said, to where it is today. There's a lot of other things that I've done in terms of managing the scars, and different supplements that I've taken, but that's for another video. When it comes down to what has actually worked well for me in terms of healing my acne, have been those two things, the inositol and the Vitex, and then the high frequency wand. So my advice to you guys out there, if this is something that you are going through, you know, don't waste your money on any more products. Like I said, most of them just don't work. At the end of the day, if you're breaking out, it is something that it's a sign from your body that something's not right. So maybe it's a gluten intolerance, maybe it's a dairy intolerance, or maybe for most of us, it's really that your hormones are out of balance. And it's really amazing how many women, I'm 27, it's amazing how many of my friends who never had acne at all growing up are now breaking out, or so many of my friends on Instagram are saying, I'm going through the exact same thing, my skin looks exactly how yours used to look like. And it comes down to a hormonal imbalance. So don't go on Accutane, you know, maybe that's a quick fix. If it works for you, it works for you, but I totally recommend getting to the bottom of it, figuring out why your body is, why your skin is breaking out, what's going on internally, fix that, and then you will be able to have clear, glowy skin, be confident, not have to wear so much makeup. It's really, honestly, it sounds really crazy, but it's probably my biggest achievement is being able to clear my skin on my own. Like I said, I never think that I would be where I am today. If you asked me even 5 months ago, I was sitting on my couch so upset, didn't want to see anyone, doing face masks, doing everything I could, but really, you will clear your skin. It's totally possible. It just takes a little bit of work, right? It's not going to happen overnight, and that's what I tell a lot of people. You just have to be patient. You have to trust that your body is going to heal. It just needs a little bit of time, and it needs a little bit of TLC too. So I hope that you guys all found that very informative. this was just my first video. For my first video, I just wanted to tell my story so that you get to know who I am and what I've gone through. And then from there, I'm going to do other videos talking about my different supplements that I take that are great for your skin. I will talk about my favorite products, my different routines, what my skincare routine is, what my makeup routine is. So there's lots of really good videos to come. So I hope you enjoyed this. Please message me if you have any questions or you have comments. I always love to chat about skincare. So I am at Be Well and Glow on Instagram. Please feel free to message me at any time. Okay, thanks guys. Bye.